Okay, Shane, while you all are here, the memorial plaque for fire station number 1, Chief Carpenter, has been ordered. It's not ready to present. So I think maybe we'll have that by the next BMA, I think.
Yeah.
And the internet for fire station number 2 is scheduled for Thursday.
Yep. Yep. And I've still not gotten word of when our new cascade system will be here. It's supposed to be sometime this month.
Okay, we need to review the fee schedule, right? With Safe Build, suggest that we adopt normal rates, and this is included within the packet. Current rates on the table, the resolution 122, 2018. So let's look at that.
I would request while you're looking at it,
Uh-huh.
they've got the police department fee schedules in there. I'd rather them not do our fee schedules. I have a separate fee schedule attached.
Yeah, it's the next item. That was just part of that resolution, it's on reasons in there. I'd asked Jim to attend this meeting. I guess maybe he had a schedule conflict. But that was his recommendation. I wanted him here to speak more to it because I don't understand building fees. But anyway, overall, this was his suggestion, is to go with their building permits and fees. So it looks like page 2 through almost page 7, I guess. Just kind of more of the pages that we would be looking to adopt. And this would also, it looks like it updates the fees for, I know currently if maintenance goes out to do any work on a home that Chief Hammons is notified multiple times of violations, it would update those fees as well.
Also, I'd ask that you look at page 5. There's a couple of things in here I would like to ask him about before you proceed with it. On page 5, it says food truck permit fee $350. And it includes the park. So I don't know if that's something we want to ask him about before we proceed on.
Okay, now what was that again?
It says food truck permit fee $350.
Yeah. Okay.
And it includes public parks, public places or private area
Yeah, it also says.
from a temporary built-up structure.
It would
But it
apply
says
to an
include-
organization, so that would be Tracy, would it not? Would be the one pulling that permit, if we left it at 350?
Yeah. But according to this, maybe each food truck, because it says including food trucks.
I'm reading it as since it says organization engaged in vending of food items or merchandise. So I would read that as like the organizer,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, we probably need to change that.
Or at least ask them to
Yeah.
define it.
No, okay, in other words, food trucks that come up here for one weekend would have to have this permit, is that what?
Yeah, $350. I mean, I don't want to discourage anybody from doing business.
See, it says if a street vendor is present at an event at the behest of the hosting organization, a permit shall not be required. So that 350 would fall on whoever's organizing the event. So we probably just would need to
One
change
person.
that price a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think she would like that 350.
They,
You have to keep in mind that Mount Carmel has an ordinance
Yeah.
regulating food trucks, where Surgoinsville does not.
So can we just delete that paragraph? I mean, does anybody?
Unless you
We might want to have like a specific vendor fee
I
in
think
there,
we-
like vendor permit fee in there, but change it from food truck and change it to fires. But if we
Okay.
just have like a standard vendor fee, I think that would work.
Okay, the vendors pay it. They pay, on her events, they pay her. On the riverfront, they pay the town.
Right, so
And
that's why we picked the vendor permit.
okay, so our fee for the riverfront is 25 and 45, so well, we're not gonna mess with that, surely, are we?
How much do we charge?
That's up to you.
Well, from 25, what does, I don't know what anybody else charges. What's a truck, I mean, I don't understand.
How much do we charge for?
We can just, I mean, if there's no need for it, we can delete it. This is, I'd say, I'd ask him to be here to speak to it because, you know, the whole thing is split.
That's the entire Mount Carmel fee ordinance. They have an ordinance dealing with food trucks, where Surgoinsville does not.
So we can't set one
Well, I mean-
in the ordinance.
You have, the only fees that you're setting are fees that the building code provides for.
So can you want to look at that?
So we need to review that.
Well, any vendor, the trucks or whatever, you know, we wanted the food trucks here, they go to Rogersville, they go to Mount Carmel. And we wanted them here, and they're here, but they won't come, they have to pay $350. They won't.
Is that something we can have done on Monday, you think?
What?
The review proposed for building fees?
I think that, yeah, I think
That way
that's,
we can have a July 1st effective date.
but just dealing with building permits.
Okay, so we're back to this building permit, right? And this is,
Yeah.
we're marking this out.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, everybody understand the building permits we're looking at? Okay, so these permits are all year permits. I mean, this is all year. Everything's new, right? I mean, it's not permits that we've issued.
No, we
Other
don't
than-
have to change anything, it would just be from July 1st moving forward, updating the rates. This is to ensure that we're not spending more, the town, like, you know, make sure that we've got everything appropriately priced for our town expenses.
Okay, so, in other words, planning commission, public hearing, agenda appearance, $35?
I think we're only gonna use the ones that relate to building fees.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. Okay, I understand. Okay, so the building permit fee, so on, what page is that?
That was on page 2 at the top. I do see that there's also some inspection fees that we would need to look at too. Joe said that he would help us, look at it and then have it ready for Monday to be specific to Surgoinsville for the things that would apply to us.
Okay, is this what Jim suggested, is that, or, okay. It looks, I think it looks okay to me. I don't see anything out of line with it.
Okay.
Everybody looked at that? Okay, review of proposed traffic fine charges. Okay, we're just talking about the cost, right? Courthouse.
Yeah. The fines are preset.
Yeah, the
By amount.
yeah.
The court cost is set by the board, and there's an e-citation fee I'm gonna put on there also to buy the equipment for the e-citations to make our traffic citations a lot quicker.
Okay. Yeah.
Also on page 2 at the very end, if it's a compliance ticket, I would ask that the board set that administrative fee. Reason being, we've still got time in it, we've still got equipment and supplies in it.
Yeah.
If the judge dismisses it, there's no cost.
Right.
But if it's something that's just a compliance citation, then I would ask that we leave a $50 administrative fee on.
Okay.
How's litigation taxes?
Is it compliance, is that on 2? John?
It's on page 2 at the very bottom.
Litigation.
This is just something I proposed, we're still got a little fine tuning.
Well, we can look at it between now and next week. It looks in line to me. But we can talk about it, discuss. Okay, is everybody done with that? Okay. The municipal code, recodification, several things need to be updated. And Megan and I will discuss this and report back.
Yeah, and a bunch of it's just where the charter was so outdated. The municipal code, so it was their municipal code up, and a lot of it's just language updates, but there are a few things that we will discuss, and then I'll get him a response back so that we can get that finalized.
Okay. Okay, review Employee handbook, 2 copies on the table. The summary of these changes are within this packet and resolution is with the impact. Megan, you want to go over the change, the
Yeah.
big changes or whatever?
Absolutely. All right, so you'll see a copy in there. I hand wrote the biggest changes instead of printing all out 20-something pages. I just kind of wrote the things that were specific. Other things in the packet include like the sexual harassment policy. It was updated. There's now some policy allowing mothers to nurse in a private area. So all of the codes have been updated in the languages. As far as the changes from our current employee handbook to this one that we're now working on, these are all recommendations from impasse with Ms. Betsy. This is also part of our finding from the public entity survey that was completed, I think, in October. This is one of their findings. So the holidays, it's now been updated to include 14 8-hour shifts. As far as our time off goes, we've currently got several different types of time that you can take off. It's very confusing to keep up with and entering payroll. So what we talked about doing is combining the vacation time and the personal time to only vacation. It doesn't change how much they're accruing. It will still be the same as it's been throughout the years. It's just putting them into one category instead of two. Let's see, the employee, like the sick time, the benefit of the sick time is that it can roll over into your TCRS and count for your time worked. So we're not going to set a cap limit on that. However, vacation will have an 80-hour maximum hours. That will be as of December 31st of the year. So by December 31st, if you've got over 80 hours, you lose it. Or we had talked about allowing employees to do a one-time vacation payout in December of up to 80 hours. There are a couple of employees that have significant amounts of time off, so to be fair for them, we have worked out an individualized plan with each of them that they will have between 3 and 4 years to decrease their time to the 80 hours, because right now it would be completely unfair, and there's just no way that they can take all their time off right now. Comp time, there will be no more comp time accrued, and that is okay, that it's not something that's required for us to offer. And their time off, instead of getting everything on January the 1st of the year, it will be accrued with each paycheck. So as you work, you earn your time off instead of getting it all in one big bulk on January the 1st. Then updated languages and policies to ensure compliance. So that's our biggest ones.
Okay, the comp time, anyone has comp time, they will be given so many days to work. A week or 2 weeks, what will we be given?
I emailed Betsy because you had asked me a question about that last week, and I was asking her for her notes, and I had not got her response yet.
The only concern I have with the comp time issue is if we have something going on, I mean, we can rack up a lot of overtime in a hurry with one big case.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you sure can, Tim.
especially if you have to put an 18, 20-hour day and then come back because you can't take the next day off because
Yeah.
you still got paperwork lingering from the first one.
Okay, well, between now and Monday, let's get with Betsy and see what we, if there's something we need to fine tune maybe that. So that could be an issue. But, we've gone over it and gone over it. But, we'll get with her one more time. And as far as the personal leave, the employees need to know they're not losing anything. instead of having several kinds of leave, it's all gonna be combined into just sick leave and annual leave. Any other more questions about that? Okay, the drug and alcohol testing policy, you want to explain that to us, Meg?
It honestly, that one is just kind of what it is. It's updated to include the language and the current rules and regulations as far as what's required.
There's not really anything changing.
No, it's just, I couldn't find where we had, or the most current one we had needed updated.
We had, we used to have a company that picked,
Nationwide
random.
Testing Association, yes.
we still do that.
Yes.
Okay, review of employee handbook, sorry. Review purchasing policy.
Yeah, if you want to skip that, I think that one will take a little bit of time. If you want to come back to it, we
Okay.
can knock out those other ones.
Okay, as of May 31st, we collected 95% of 2023 property taxes. Report is in this package. So,
I just wanted to give you all that.
okay. Okay, 2025 budget approved, 5/23/24. By comptroller's letter within package. Email Travis with impacts for sewer rate study update. Okay.
If you look at the letter from the comptroller, they did identify some considerations / concerns that need our attention. And of course, it was the sewer fund. I'm still waiting a response from Travis to see where we're at on that sewer rate study and to kind of get some guidance on what we can do to maintain control of that fund and the charges.
Okay. Okay, the closing of USDA loan, $185,000 will be June 24th. Alderman Collier plans to redact prior statement of these monies. Suggest placing this money into LGIP to allow our monies to work for us at approximately 5.3% per month interest.
With that said, you know, we originally said when we got that loan that we would stick it back into ARPA. Since our financial situation developed the way it did, I would like to make a motion, since I made the motion, and Tim, I think, seconded, that we don't stick it into ARPA, stick it into, for right now, until we find out where we stand with the sewer.
Okay.
That would be my, put that on here.
Yeah.
We'll look at rates estimate, and that stuff will make about close to $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Be real close to $10,000 a month.
At least until they figure out what route we want to take and where we stand, how far we're going to get, what our bang for our dollar is going to be.
We can do that, can't we, Chuck?
Well, on a temporary basis, you have to remember that we're borrowing at 2%, and if you're going to put it in LGIP at 5%, that's what's called arbitrage, which is probably prohibited by USDA's loan.
Okay.
But for temporary, that's not should not be an issue.
Temporary meaning.
We budgeted it. It's in the budget. We're just gonna start somewhere until we
Right.
figure out. Yeah.
You can park the money in LGIP temporarily,
Right.
but you can't keep it there.
And
And indefinitely where you're paying 2% to the feds and you're collecting 5% from the state. Everybody would be doing that if that were allowed. Probably, we can ask Travis in particular about the arbitrage requirements.
Yeah, we don't want the state to turn back on us because we've done. So,
The feds would be asking for their money back.
right. Yeah. In other words, they're giving that to us because we need it.
Well, you're borrowing the money for a purpose. That's not the issue. The issue is you're paying 2% and you're putting it in a 5% investment and you're making 3% profit.
But with that said, we borrowed the money to repay ourselves for the purchase of the
Right.
garbage truck that we've already expended. Correct? So within, we re-budgeted it, so we can.
But if you put it in the ARPA fund and then put the ARPA fund in the LGIP, that's probably appropriate. But that's why I said we ought to check with MTAS about arbitrage rules, because this is a rather unusual case. Ordinarily, you'd borrow the money and you'd have it temporarily for a month or two until the invoice comes for the garbage truck, and then you'd pay it out. That's perfectly proper and expected. But here, already paid for the garbage truck, so there is no invoice coming.
Okay, do we have some ARPA money on that or not? And save it?
In an LGIP,
No.
yes, we do.
Okay. Well, so we can temporarily put this in. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, direct deposit is slowly making progress. Anticipated July. So no one has that direct deposit yet.
It has been, it's been a fun thing to do. I think we're making progress now. Everybody may get like a penny or $1 deposit and withdraw to verify your account sometime, hopefully soon.
Am I supposed to let you know that amount or?
No, I don't care what it is.
I
just had to sit there earlier. I'm not even sure when that'll happen. Maybe one day this week. I've entered everything in on Friday. It's just been a process between local government and our bank, and it's took a lot of communication.
Okay.
Will we still have to sign something stating that the employees have gotten paid?
I'll look into that for you.
I don't think you would. I don't think you would. I mean, it'd be in your bank account, so. You maybe get paid anyway like that, I guess. I think about everybody is anymore. Okay, Aaron, isn't it, for employees, plans, rates included in this packet. We talked about that, I think it's maybe the last workshop. I haven't looked at that. Is that the town's providing that for employees or are the employees?
Well, I think the last step of the last workshop, what we had discussed was both. It's kind of dependent on how we wanted to proceed, if we wanted to set and see if there was a way that maybe if we did a 5-year term for employees, if they were terminated or left, or I think maybe you need to mention 3 years. If they wanted to keep the coverage, maybe allow them to pay the town back on their last paycheck for that expense.
Because that's the rate, that's the one-time rate per employee, right?
Right, so I have to pay, yeah, the town would have to pay it
Right, but
upfront.
it's not like.
It's not a huge, yeah. So, and we are getting the loan, so I feel much more comfortable this workshop if that's something you all want to do than I did the last one.
I think we talked about 3 years,
Mhm.
and like you said, if they were to be terminated or leave on their own, that they would have the option to pay it back. Or honestly, I think we just put in there that they're gonna pay it back.
Yeah, after our last paycheck.
Can we just add that for the next meeting?
Okay.
Okay, so that will be on the agenda, right?
Yeah. And I will get.
What if it's here a year and a half, could it not be prorated?
Yeah, it will be prorated.
Okay.
For the time that you left off, it'll just be the time that you've left, that you'd be responsible for.
I just said, I don't do a number.
I'll be here longer than a year and a half.
Then let's just try maybe 4 years and see how it goes.
Okay, Donnie to provide update on trash truck invoice for May, this is already said. Don?
As far as I know, we've got the truck fixed.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. They had to put a, throttle position sensor in it, and there was a, exhaust pressure sensor that was put in it. But on the exhaust side of that, it's got a lot of carbon buildup in that truck, and it's probably gonna keep happening. I'd say we'll probably be working on this thing again down the road. It's just for the plain simple fact that with this burn-off system on it, it's not heating up enough to be able to burn it off. And at some point, there is a fix for that. They can eliminate some of that, and if they do, it'll cost some money to do it, but it'll probably be cheaper in the long run down the road maybe to do that. To look into trying to eliminate it and get some of that burn-off system, the death and all that out of it, and just for the truck will run on its own and not be trying to do that, because I think it's gonna, I don't know how long we'll get by. We've got by a couple of years with it, and it's done.
Okay.
And I'd say a couple of years down the road, it's gonna do it again, or maybe sooner since it's already.
Is that something we don't have any road time?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, where you just start and stop and start and stopping all the time. It's
The longest we run it is wherever to the
landfill back.
landfill.
I'm going to get fuel up at Churchill. That's about as far as it's going. So I think in the future we'll have a problem with it again. So, I mean, there might be something we look into if we keep having problems with it, is maybe just spend the money to get some of that took off of it and try to do away with it.
Okay.
And on the long run, we got a call today that they do have the transmission sitting up there, so they're supposed to send us pictures tomorrow to make sure that
Okay.
those transmissions are made up, and it's the same thing, so. And if it is, we'll go get it and try to start getting the transmission put back on the tractor up in Abington. Up at Abington Equipment. So that's where we are on the tractor right now. And I appreciate y'all fellas, everybody that called me back on this emergency invoice on this, because that was kind of a spur of the moment thing to have to start looking for a transmission, so I appreciate y'all doing that.
Well, we can't let it sit.
No, that's it. The grass ain't stopped growing, so. Oh, yeah, and the brush truck, we had a problem with that on Friday. And, the gears on the arm on that truck, where you swinging out to the sides is about wore out. And, I went up, actually called Jason Light up there at Churchill this morning. He came down, tried to help us a little bit. They got an old truck just exactly like that one. They're having problems out of theirs too. But there is a straight gear that runs in the back. There's the cylinders. When you're running it, just go left and right. It runs that gear back and forth. And there's a cog there. Well, it's missing it, and it's jumping cogs. So we looked at trying to adjust it and tighten up the main cog on it, but it's tight. So we started looking at the one on the back. And there is an adjustment there, but it's stripped out. And you can move it and it'll jump it back. So there is no spare parts. There's no parts for that truck anymore. The company that built that truck is obsolete, gone, out of business. Churchill's got a truck up there in the same shape, in the same boat we're in right now, that they've not worked on. And he told me today, he said, well, if you get yours fixed, he said, let me know how you did it so we can fix ours. But I got an idea, and I don't know if it'll work or not. We're gonna try it tomorrow and just see, but where that adjustment's at, I'm gonna try to drill 2 holes on either sides of it and try to tap and put a bolt in there and see if we can't try to tighten up that gear. And if that don't work, I really don't have a clue how we're gonna fix that. But when it did it the other day, Tony said when he swung it around there, it just kept going and it wouldn't stop, and it started popping. And I could see why it did it, because it started jumping all the cogs on it. And I reckon he stuck it down on the ground to stop it. And we had to pull it back around, put it in, get it in the truck. We had to take a chain and stuff and try to pull it around and lift it up where I could get it back in there so we could get it back.
That don't sound good.
No, it ain't. It's not. And that's, I know they broke the gear in theirs before I ever went to work up there. And they actually got a gear from somewhere, from the company was still in business, and they told them, said, don't break this one because that was the last one they had. And of course, he told me today, he said that company don't even exist anymore, they're gone. So I'm gonna try, we're gonna try tomorrow just to see what we can do, and if we can tighten that up, and that's the only option that I know of. I don't know of anything else we can do to it. There's not a lot of room in there as it is.
Let me know how that turns out.
All right.
Okay, lien surveyor is coming June the 4th from church property, $700, which is parks outlay under parks and recreation. Now that would be paid. Y'all know what we're talking about, the property at the Methodist church that they're giving. Okay, sewer extension to 11W update. Survey began Memorial Day week. Anticipate preliminary drawings by the end of June for town to review.
We hit a little hiccup on that one today,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
We gotta get across one piece of property to get through. At this point, we're gonna be at that.
Okay, so this individual owns property on both sides of that road, is that what you said?
Well, to get to that road, there's a piece of property that this person owns that probably not gonna give us permission to go through there unless there's an easement already in place. I think there may be one for water, Joe, but I don't know if we could use the easement for water for us.
We'd have to look at how that
Look at the
easement's.
easement. But I'm gonna go up and talk to them tomorrow, just to see if maybe there's something we can work out to keep them slowing us down.
Okay, I called Ken Ray today and didn't get him. He hadn't called me back, but Randy talked to him, and so Ken said there's a possibility that we can change the route. So,
Yeah, he said that if we use he was running into resistance with TDAC to change it, but if we use that, there's going to be a little bit no revenue going to that route. They would be more flexible and change, would flex more to change the route so we could get more customers, bring in more revenue and justify.
All right, I'll talk with Mark when I leave here at the lane again and have them kind of hold off, because we're going to heat resistance, and the people I've talked to are not going to take the sewer. So I think we put in a dry line for
He was going to, is that the engineer? That he was going to make contact with the engineer and try to hold off everything until he could talk to TDEC and maybe if we needed to give a little political assistance.
Yeah, because I mean, we'd be putting in that big project and honestly have no.
Well, he said something about 5 customers, and I said, well, that is a possible future. And he said, so it's not a guarantee? I went, no. She's going to sell them lots, correct?
Yeah.
And she's gonna have to get water too.
Yeah.
There's no water there, and I can't see somebody buying an acre lot and putting a well in.
He said that changes it totally, so.
The main thing is still coming up with a path to get it to Lebanon.
But I was on the phone with the mayor when he called, and I called him back, so I didn't recognize the number, and he's gonna call you. He told me to tell you, he's gonna call you. It was just like to see.
Yeah. Yeah, we have an alternate route behind Virginia Hills. So, which probably what we should have done to start with.
I didn't realize it was such a good path until after we got to looking at it.
Nope, and then there would be some customers there at Virginia Hills. And I'm sure they probably want the sewer, I think. So we'll check into it. Anyway, I appreciate you, Randy. And Sandwich Hollow, if we do go that way, what will we get, one customer or two, maybe, or none?
None.
Yeah. We-
And he said that changes the whole
Aspect of it.
aspect of being able to negotiate with that.
Well, Ken had told me that we would have to have some customers, which I thought we'd probably pick some up on Sandwich Hollow, but probably we won't.
Every person I talked to is pretty much no, they're not interested.
Yeah. Even on the 4 lane, they're not really excited about it.
No.
I apologize. Well, okay, ongoing, Chief Hammonds to provide an update on the flow meter at the schools. He met with the line group on May 17th. A new flow meter, I think we're getting somewhere, aren't we, John?
Yeah, it was a new flow meter that they installed to begin with. And what we've since figured out is the seal on the new flow meter, but the old flow meter now, was bad from the factory, which allowed it to take in moisture. Well, the moisture on the components caused the meter not to read right. So it was showing flow even when there wasn't no flow. So this new one that we installed, and we had an engineer also from the Lane Group, and we had an engineer from the manufacturer of the flow meter there. They installed it that day, and once it's installed, I've monitored it since the 17th. I mean, it's spot on. If there's no flow coming through, it absolutely stays at 0. If it rains, it shows the difference for that day. You can pretty much build a pattern now on it. So, I mean, I'm good with you all when the next water cycle is for them, for the water department, get with the water department, and then tell me when they're going to read. And me go read the flow meter down there, and then we'll start building off of that.
Okay, let's just do that.
We just have to be into the understanding that some months are dry months, so you're really not going to show much. It's probably going to take us a little while to actually show the leak that's there, even though we've all seen it. We'll be able to track it.
Okay.
Is the flow meter at Church Hill, is it working right?
It is working right.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is look at it, the flow meter from the schools, and the flow meter from 15. That'll kind of tell us if there's any other areas we need to start checking into.
Okay.
But while we're doing that, we really need to, and I don't know how to do it with the number of people we got, we're really going to have to set a maintenance schedule for those tanks at the house. They're going to have to be cleaned. Because we're running into them now, they're starting to get sludge on that side, and the sludge stops the screens up on the other side. And, I mean, it's probably time for us to at least get with the maintenance shop and the sewer and figure out a way to do, if we do 5 of them a week, we can keep it on a continuous cycle to where we're constantly monitoring them. But we
Yeah, I
are
think-
starting to show sludge on the other side, and we should.
I think that's, we're supposed to be doing that anyway. I think. Yes, we need to start doing that.
Yeah, if we can, I mean, if we can just sit down and do a spreadsheet, put every customer on there and the date it was, the date we service it. That way, when it's over with, we can go back and start at the top and go down again. Because we're supposed to do these once a year, but we're just not
Yeah.
getting.
Screen, hey Marlon,
Yeah.
the screens on Johnson Estates, sewer down there,
Uh-huh.
they're supposed to be cleaned too. One's up, not on the front,
You mean the big pump? You
no,
don't
no,
know
that individual,
that one pump? No, there's 2 pumps.
there's one pump.
Oh, there's one in Johnson Estates and one on Main Street. Right. Huh?
There's one, just one pump fire upload.
In Johnson
Track
Estates.
right now. There are no pumps in Johnson State in the subdivision. The tanks have got screens in where they go in.
Yeah, I understand. That's what we're talking about.
No, these screens are not that big around and probably 3, maybe 4 foot long with a bunch of holes in them. Me and Tony cleaned out the Jerry. Yeah, we cleaned Jerry's out. It was stopped completely up. But yeah, they're different. It's a different kind of screen. That's what's in the pump and the tank.
Okay. And there's also a pump in Jerry's neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a pump in Johnson Estates, is there not?
No, it's all gravity fed up to
Oh, okay.
the where
Okay.
the track right.
Good?
How do you clean them?
Just water hose. Just wash them out and stick them right back down in there. That was a whole different ballgame on that night. Tony and I both hadn't seen one like that. And just pull it out and clean it and stick it back down in there.
It's just like a canister.
Yeah.
Okay. James, you gonna provide an update on this interlocal agreement?
Yeah, we went to the 911 board meeting. The emergency dispatch side, they're gonna forego that 23,373 for this year, but it will be something that their board probably will look at next year, so we'll have to start monitoring their monthly meetings, which they're supposed to post them online, their agenda. That way we can try to get in our head of the game this time before coming in behind.
Okay. Okay, there was one other thing here you were gonna give an update on.
Yeah, it's the purchasing policy. I think I emailed them out and I printed out a sample. What I can do is I can scan some of the updates and highlight the changes that I've made as far as what's in this book, and I can send them out that way if everybody would like, or else it's going to be, it's probably 50 or 60 pages of stuff that we'll be looking at together. It may be one of those things that if I just type the changes and send it to you all, it'd be easier to review in an email. And then if we're not comfortable on Monday voting on it, then we can always push it out till August, till July. My intent was, or my goal, was to have the purchasing policy voted on and approved with a go live of July 1st.
Okay, scan it to us, I can listen.
Okay. And just kind of highlight or note.
Because it's just a standard purchase order.
It is, yeah, sure, I
Yeah.
think passed. Is everybody okay with that? Because I think if we do it tonight, it's gonna, I'm willing to, it's just gonna take us time.
Yeah, I looked over them past.
Okay,
It's okay with me.
okay, very good. I'll do
Okay.
that.
Anything else?
And I want to bring up something,
Uh-huh.
cat population.
Cat, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
About got too many cats running around on Virginia Hill. You got one person who has anywhere between 12 and 18 cats at their house. And they're getting flower beds, and getting the shrub, and making a mess. Stealing houses up and stuff. I've got neighbors calling.
So, or is this in Virginia Hills?
Yeah. And it's a neighbor on the backside. So, can we put traps out? What are we gonna do?
Well, we can.
We will set traps, but if you'll talk to me after the meeting, I'll try and visit it first, because we actually have an ordinance which includes cats running at large.
I'll talk to you after this meeting.
All right. But definitely, if somebody give me permission to set traps, I have to have permission to set them on somebody's property, but
Yeah.
we can get the trap set. Now, whether the Humane Society has room for them or not, is going to be another issue that we run into.
What do you do with them if they don't have room? Just curious.
I mean, we just have to turn them loose, so if we ain't got where to take them, we can't keep them
Take
caged.
them like further out and let them go, or?
Well, usually we'll call first and see if they are taking them.
Yeah, but-
Or we'll talk with a couple of people, we've had some people take them for their barns.
Yeah.
They'll just put them in their barns because it keeps them
I was
trouble.
half worried you were gonna say you shoot him.
Now,
You never know, going to throw them in the river, you know.
that
People don't
ain't,
like cats here. I've learned that.
No, we won't do it tonight.
I wasn't sure. I was gonna say, should I take them?
That's not gonna get it over. Castrate the tomcat.
It is.
Is that not in the, well, that's in the, I guess, the sample of the fines from Mount Carmel, but they have the, animals non-fixed. I mean, is there not a way to fine them for having all these cats on their property?
what I've asked the Humane Society to do is if we bring an animal in, that they not release it back to the owner until I speak to them, because technically their animal is running at large.
Right.
There is an ordinance. But I'm in agreement with any males that we catch,
No, sure.
if they don't claim them, they need to be fixed.
Right.
Because a lot of towns are doing that now, it's cheaper to pay to have them fixed than it is anything else.
That'd be fine. We just got to do something.
But if you get with me after the meeting, we'll get a plan together and I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Okay.
Or this afternoon if I get time.
Okay.
Because you know, and we actually need to make sure the media is aware of it, that there is an ordinance that includes cats. I don't think the state law includes it specifically, but we had a town ordinance that does.
That's all I can say.
Okay, anything else?
Mayor, we'll try something a little different. Instead of talking about personnel issue, can you get with maintenance supervisor and maybe Megan and talk about Brandon? You got a CDL. See what we can do for Brandon. Or at least whatever the deal was.
Yes,
That was the deal.
that's an issue I have to get with Brandon and talk about. And get in the board and get something we need to discuss, yes.
Just get back on board and whatever we can do for him, we do better for him. Because I mean, you spent a lot of time practicing for that thing and passed it the first go. Wow, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I have to, but, we'll discuss. Okay, anything else? Okay, I don't have anything else. Joe, you got anything? James, you got anything else?
No, I think I've done my good deed for the day.
Bob, you got anything? Don, anything else? Hey? Shane?
I think I've spoken to
Okay. All right. Dan, good to see you. Yeah, you doing okay?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Okay, I appreciate everybody coming out.